Hello everyone, glad to be back. Today is 6th of February, now it's 1 o'clock, middle of the day. I'm Levan Gudadze and this is my channel in which I share latest updates on the news that are making headlines in Russian media and Russian language pages on different internet platforms. There is some quite interesting news and developments for this moment that I like to share with you, but before I start, let me ask you if I may to hit that like button if you find my videos interesting. Leave some commentary about any topic you like. As I mentioned in previous videos, more likes and comments my videos will have, more chances are that YouTube algorithm will didn't suppress my content too much. And please, if you can, share links to my videos or my channel with your friends on Twitter, Facebook, Telegram, or any other internet platform that you are active on. That will greatly increase my chances to reach a wide audience, and I will be very, very grateful for this help. That's been said, let's talk about news now. And today I'm gonna start with information that are coming from Turkey and Syria. As you know, in southern parts of Turkey and the northern parts of Syria, bordering regions of two countries, strong earthquake occur early morning, 4:17 a.m. Moscow time, and the magnitude of earthquake was 7.8, which is devastating. And then 32 aftershocks also was fixed, and six of them were greater than 6 magnitude. So truly devastating earthquake. And the latest news for this moment is that in Turkey almost 300 people are dead and more than 2,000 people are injured. And in Syria, 237 people are dead and more than 600 people are injured. That's latest news for this moment. But probably this information will change during the day when once rescuers will start um, clearing up rubble in cities and villages. They already did start, of course, rescue operation, and information will change during the day. As you can see, this is a video from one of the Turkish cities that was hit by earthquake, and some buildings are just completely demolished. So it's terrifying. I feel sorry for Turkish society and Syrian society. It's devastating. Probably all around the world, this is major news for now. And by the way, this is my Telegram channel. If you want to learn more about news that are making headlines in Russian media outlets, you can subscribe on my channel. You will see link in the description under the video. So yeah, let's talk about some other news now. And I will start with Ukraine, of course, and special military operation. And this is RIA Novosti reporting based on statements of head of DPR, Donetsk People's Republic, and he said that Ukrainian side actively using now chemical weapons in the battles for Ugledar and Bakhmut. And Pushilin said that for last few weeks, more and more soldiers from Russian side are reporting about the medical condition after some ammunitions with chemical weapons were dropped on the position by copters, Ukrainian copters. And yesterday on my Telegram channel, I did share a video from one of the Ukro-Nazi individual who did not even hide that, and he did show on video many canisters with some chemicals that he and his gang were planning to drop on Russian positions. So I have no reason to don't believe this statement from Pushilin. It's quite possible that Ukrainian Nazi formations now starting using chemical weapons on the battlefield. Western media, of course, will don't report about this because they are, portraying those Nazis as some kind of fighters for freedom and democracy. But in reality, everyone who really informed knows that Ukraine is in hands of Nazis and mass murderers. So no big surprise here. It just one more time shows that those Nazi elements should be exterminated for sure. And right now, update is coming on RIA Novosti, as you can see here, and it says that by latest news in Turkey, 912 people died as a result of earthquake. This information just been published on RIA Novosti. So as I said, information will be updated during the day. Devastating disaster in Turkey and Syria, definitely. Let's continue with news, and this is still RIA Novosti, and we have information here that Ukrainian forces, some Ukrainian units now in Kreminoe direction, are fleeing positions without orders and retreating. And let me show you on the map, and I have some more updates on this matter, because yesterday we had information, and I did saw some videos from Bakhmut with some Ukrainian units, and information said that they were retreating from Bakhmut. As we know, garrison in Bakhmut, Ukrainian forces that are stationed in Bakhmut, did not receive yet order to leave the city, but it seems like many Ukrainian units are not seeing any reason to die for nothing in a fight that they have no chance, and now taking their own decisions and fleeing city. But first, let me show you Kriminaya, which is, if I find it, I'm not good with maps, I should say, but this is it, man. This is Kriminaya direction, and this is pro-Ukrainian map, so any forward movement from Russia will be acknowledged by this map in a few days at best. So as you can see, Seversk, this is city of Seversk. Situation for Seversk becoming more and more desperate. Once Russian side will establish full control over this area here, and it's only a matter of days, as I understand, Seversk will become in operational in settlement. Even though right now, not that many roads are still under control of Ukrainian armed forces that are not under Russian fire control. So we are seeing here almost similar situation that Bakhmut is, just in a smaller scale. When it comes to Bakhmut, latest news, as I said, is that some units that are stationed, some Ukrainian units that are stationed in Bakhmut now, retreating. I cannot confirm this information, but I saw a video on Ukrainian Telegram channels, so I have no reason to don't believe Ukrainian channels in this situation when they are saying that some units are already retreating from Bakhmut. And fight is intensified in this area. As you know, northern parts of this city are almost fully now under Russian control, and because of that, there is a Krasnaya village here, which is becoming almost encircled now by Russian side. And in Krasnaya Gora, situation for Ukrainian forces, this is Krasnaya Gora here, also becoming very, very difficult. And maybe today, maybe in few days, this settlement will probably also become under Russian control. When it comes to overall situation on a front line, I'm getting impression that Ukrainian forces truly are now losing their ground, maybe because of they are tired psychologically, maybe because they don't see reason why should they die for this Zelensky's Nazi regime or the Western masters. After all, majority of soldiers in Ukrainian armed forces are Russians. They see themselves as Russians, and they've been forced at the gunpoint to fight in this war. So I did mention yesterday that I expected some big units will now start surrendering. I did show on my Telegram channel, I did share videos on my Telegram channel about some units that already did surrender yesterday, for example. And this will be, this will continue, and bigger units will decide to save the lives and just surrender, because many of them, if they retreat, they're gonna become easy prey for nationalist blocking units that are killing Ukrainians that left positions. So best way out in this situation for Ukrainian soldiers are to just surrender to Russian side, and they have to do it in. They have to be careful, because if they use open radio waves, these Nazi units will also listen, and they will just shell their positions, as it happened many times before. So somehow units that are planning to surrender to Russian side, they have to establish communication with the Russian side without risking their lives, so that without giving information to those Nazi formations. So yeah, as I said, even Zelensky in his yesterday's evening monologue stated that situation in particularly in Donbas area is becoming very, very critical for Ukrainian side. So it must be true. Few more days, and Seversk, Bakhmut, probably even Ugledar, which is here, will become under Russian control. But as you know, there are some great channels that are talking about situation on front line in great detail. Military Summary is one of them. So if you want to know more detailed information about this, I strongly recommend Military Summary channel. And of course, Alexander Mercury's channel, who is also in very in great detail, are talking about situation on the front line. But my take is that Ukrainian forces are now losing their grounds, and in next few days we will see big moves from Russian side. Quite sure about it. So yeah, let's wait and see. Let's continue now. Let's continue. Let me check how long this video is already. 15 minutes. 15 minutes. Too long, man. Okay. Next news is that this is Kommersant newspaper is writing that 5 o'clock in the morning in Kaluga region, some drone was shut down by Russian air defense systems. Drone was probably directed on some military infrastructure there, but it did not reach target, so that's good. But still, as you see, Ukrainian side is continuing to reach deep inside Russia and impose some destruction on Russian land. Let's continue. We have here, this is RBK news agency, which is reporting that Prime Minister of Poland, this guy is very popular, become very popular recently because of his crazy statements, and yet again, now we have information from Spanish newspaper Mundo. In interview with which Mateusz Morawiecki, this Polish prime minister, did stated that conflict in Ukraine very well may transform into a third world war if Russia did not withdraw its forces from Ukraine. So Prime Minister of Poland openly, basically, are threatening Russia, saying that Russia has two options. Moscow can withdraw their forces from Ukraine now, or will be forced to withdraw forces later. And this is direct threat, as I understand. And who the hell is this Morawiecki, And he's nobody, for God's sake. Some CIA low-level puppet, But that's how crazy situation is, really. To be honest, I did mention yesterday, and I didn't share. I did share information on my Telegram too, that now Polish army is deploying its air defense systems to airfields, airports, basically. And I was wondering, what they are planning. What Polish elites are planning, that they now are taking defensive measures to secure the strategic facilities, including airports. And the answer is obvious. Official Warsaw is preparing to send its troops to Ukraine. And if that's the case, and if those troops will become in direct contact with the Russian armed forces, then gloves are off, and Moscow will have every right to target Polish military and Polish strategic military and logistic facilities inside the Poland. So maybe, not now, of course, not now, but if Poland will send its forces openly in Ukraine, and these forces will become in direct contact with the Russian armed forces, then situation may change very quickly, and Poland may find itself in a very, very difficult position. Because, everyone should understand that when special military operation has begun, Russian side was very cautious. Russian side even now is very cautious because many of us in Russia did see this conflict as a kind of civil war. And that's why Russian side was trying to minimize casualties. And always, and that's the case now, to minimize casualties. That's why Russian side is on daily basis sending messages to Ukrainian forces to just lay down arms and surrender and save their lives. Because we don't see Ukrainians as enemies. We see Ukrainians as a part of our society, bigger society, that have been indoctrinated and or at gunpoint sent to fight against us. But when it comes to conflict with the NATO member states, then the situation is different. Even though I have sympathies towards Polish society, I have nothing against them. But if it comes to military conflict, then everyone should understand that Russia will act very, very differently. And in my understanding, Polish society should be more proactive to somehow force the government to minimize Polish involvement in this conflict until it's too late, basically. So let's continue. Here we have RIA Novosti that's reporting that yet again Poland will increase its army. Its army manpower, and we have information that 2 more divisions will be formed, one of which will be sent to eastern parts of Poland, close to Ukraine, of course. So yeah, Poland is preparing for to enter Ukraine, and as I said yesterday, and as I said many times before, if Warsaw somehow finds common ground with Moscow, and if Warsaw and Moscow decide to divide between them zone of control over the western parts of Ukraine, then we may avoid direct clashes between Russian and Polish militaries. But if Poland will act without informing Moscow, then then Poland is in big trouble. I will say that. Let's continue. I should make video short. So this is RIA Novosti again, which is reporting that special military operation did open up many gaps in Russian economy and Russian military industrial complex, and it is obvious now that Russia lacks some technologies in drone manufacturing, for example. And that's true, really. Russia did have time to invest more in modern technologies, including drone technologies, but now Moscow is just forced to do so in a fast rate. And I'm quite sure in a couple of years' time, Russia will have quite good achievements when it comes to drones, because it will be forced, Let's continue a little bit about economy. And we have information here that according to Index Force Asia 2022, Russia is Russia is in top 5 of most influential countries in Asia, after USA, China, Japan, and India. USA and China definitely are more influential in Asia than Russia. India also. I will. I can see this, but Japan, um, I have some doubts about it. Man. I don't see Japan as a main player. They have economical might, but I don't see Japan as a main political player, at least, or military player in Asia region. Even though uh, Tokyo is heavily investing in its military for last decades, they don't have right to do so. After Second World War, Japan was obligated to never ever have a offensive means, only defensive ones. But they are avoiding, Tokyo is avoiding these restrictions, and they are building aircraft carriers, for example. They are receiving F-35s from USA, that they are building aircraft carriers and saying that this is not aircraft carrier, this is a amphibious ship. Even if it's amphibious ship, it's offensive equipment, and Japan has no right to do so. They did not deserve trust from anybody, particularly in Asia. Ask any Koreans what they think about Japan, man, or ask Chinese. They will tell you. But yet again, and breaking news right now that yet another earthquake have occurred on eastern parts of Turkey. Just this second come this information. Wow. So let's continue with news. And this is RIA Novosti, who is reporting that Russia, according to data for 2022, Russia is in top 5 countries with the most reserves, golden currency reserves in the world. And I'm not surprised, really. Yes, golden foreign exchange reserves. I'm not surprised, really, because Russian economy is doing quite well. I have only one question. I give you top 5 for the beginning. So number 1 is by gold and foreign exchange reserves. China has $3.31 trillion, man, just incredible. Second place is Japan with 1.27 trillion. Third place is Switzerland. They have $924 million. Russia is on the fourth place with $582 billion. And India is next with 563 billion. But I have a question from this 582 billion. As I understand, the Western elites did froze up to 300 billion. So can we count on that reserves? I don't know. At least that's what information we are getting, that up to 300 billion was frozen, of Russian assets were frozen on the West. But it may be that Russian gold and foreign exchange reserves were unharmed too much by Western sanctions. Who knows, man? But still, this is show you that Russian economy truly does cope, you know, with Western pressure, and even IMF now are recognizing that this year Russian economy will rise little bit, 0.3 of its GDP, but next year, for example, if I remember correctly, Russian economy will rise 2.1% of its GDP, when when most of the Western states, for example, will will fail, or if they rise, if the economies will rise less than Russian economy. So you know, so Russia is doing okay. Russia is doing okay though. This is it for now. Probably this is quite funny news about some UFO activities on over the U.S. military bases, but I will talk about it somehow in some other update. And yet again, breaking news again. And now earthquake was occurred in central parts of Turkey. Wow, so many earthquakes, man, for the last 24 hours. It's okay. This is it. This is it for now. I hope you find my video interesting, and if so, please consider to subscribe. If you are new, hit that like button. If you, as I said, find my videos interesting, leave any comment about any topic. And yeah, see you tomorrow. Take care.